Survivor's Journal. On my last entry, I started working on a way to get myself out of this rock. I established the layout of a large ship with a very large storage capacity and also assembly and refining power. Now it's time to lay down some arc furnaces, a little more storage, and start working on the freight delivery system. I'm thinking a small miner could carry some containers of ore with it and then just drop it down, probably on a connector or an extended piston, and afterwards just keep on mining while the freight it had dropped just keeps on refining. All this is going to take a lot of resources. I'm gonna have to prey on a lot of these automated ships that keep flying around, but NATO is sooner or later bound to figure out that something's going on around this sector of space, so I really need to get mobile ASAP. I need to figure out how I'm going to power this thing. Probably gonna end up using some of these solar panels, at least to power up some of the systems. But all in all, I really do need lots of parts for at least thrusters, and starting to work on the hull so I can figure out how our little ship is going to turn out.
Well, it's time to start working on the rest of my production facility here. I'm going to set up 6 arc furnaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6 arc furnaces, and I actually want to keep this exactly the same. So container, conveyor tube, container, conveyor tube, assembler, and then arc furnaces, then arc furnace, then one container on top. Now the way this is going to work is that I will design a system here which will be comprised of a piston with a connector, and afterwards I'm gonna have the outer hull with enough space for 5 large small ship containers. So I will redesign that my miner, the Scarab, in order for it to carry 5 containers, and then drop them here, and the piston will extend, pick up the containers, retract, and those containers, the contents of those containers will go into these storage storage containers here, and we'll start refining. So hopefully everything here will turn out just fine, and then the Scarab can just leave the containers and pick up another set of 5 containers if I need more materials. So I am going to need to make 6 more of these, and afterwards I will let me see, can I build these? No, I need interior plates. Afterwards I believe I'm going to set up a little interior plates. Interior plates, where are you? Interior plates, here you are, 50. That's gonna be more than enough. So after this, I will set up a dummy delivery system and start working on the outer hull for this thing. That's gonna take up a lot of materials, but I need to figure some of this stuff out so that I can start setting up some solar panels to power this thing, because relying on uranium won't do very much for me in the long run. For now I have more than enough, but if I ever run short, I'm gonna need a backup system. So it's time to get to work. Okay, I've been looking at the Scarab's design, the Exoskeleton design, and this is going to take some work, but it is feasible, I believe. I'm going to add a connector here, connecting to this conveyor, and another one connecting to the large cargo containers themselves. And Afterwards, I am going to grind down these supports here and make one long arm imitating these supports, but that will be rotatable, so that the Scarab can actually pick up these these containers. Yeah, it'll be able to pick them up. They will be connected to the conveyor, and on the other side, it'll stick out a bit. They'll unlock from the piston system there, and the Scarab will just take them away. Possibly some sort of merging will go on. I am not sure. Not sure, but that I'm gonna have to have a think about that. Now, as for this design right here, it will be very, very simple. Let's grab a piston here, and I can make sure I didn't screw up any calculations. Not like that, like this. I am going to have this piston like this, and hopefully, yeah, just like that, with the control panel pointing downwards, and like this. And luckily I left some room between these containers. I can always add some containers there. Luckily these pistons aren't too expensive, but let me just plop them down like so. And I don't actually need to make them all. I'll just figure this out right now, and then I'll make the final test runs. Okay, connector just like this. Perfect. Now I should probably secure this just a little bit more, possibly here. Let's see. Let's just make a skeleton support here, just so that this isn't all hanging by the conveyor tubes, just like that. Yeah, that's all well and good. And like this. Yeah, like this. Like this is just fine. Okay. Afterwards, I am going to redesign. Actually, let's build this up and see how far this goes. Alright, so the system will be this one. This extended piston will have to have an opening to the outside world, so to outer space, in order for the Scarab to drop its freight here. Then it will retract, and it'll hold the large containers in place. So I have to figure out how much space I need on this side. Which is useful, having more space here. It'll mean lots of things. Yeah, it'll be very useful, but I don't think I can do this without completely redesigning the Scarab first. Where is she? Ah, there she is. Without completely redesigning the Scarab, so I think it's time I get onto it. well, I've overlooked something, which is normal. It's normal to overlook stuff. And it seems as though I'm gonna have to make to get another way to actually refuel this ship, because now there's no direct connection between the reactor and the cargo. So I'm gonna have to think about that, and well, possibly another connector up top. I'm not sure, but first I want to see how this puppy comes together. And I'm already seeing a problem, which has to do with the reactor up there. It was just too close to the cargo. It was attached to the cargo. So I'm gonna have to... I really didn't want to move the reactor, but at least one block up, it's gonna have to be done. Ah, damn it. Okay, I'm gonna set up another temporary one. Okay, the reactor is in place one block further up. Didn't ruin the looks or the functionality of the thing. Luckily, this design is very good to change things around, so everything's just stuck to these beams here, welded solid, and it's very easy to add or remove stuff. But now, let's see if I can actually fit this thing here in a functional manner, and I do believe that will be the case. So let's just align ourselves up nice and easy. And it is very hard to maneuver like this. But yeah, of course the other connector isn't powered up, but this works fine. Now, we are going to get a very big tail here. Let's just get ourselves aligned just right. Yeah, there you go. Now, we are going to have a very big tail, and I might actually extend this part, just repeat this. Yeah, that might be the smart thing to do, because we lost the functionality of this beam right here, of these supports. So now I may add a couple more. It's not that big a deal, but it is time to figure out how this thing is going to work out. So let's grab ourselves some materials and rotor. I don't think we're gonna be needing anything else. Possibly some blast doors, but I don't think so. Okay. So let's see here. No, I want you here. And actually, let's get a landing gear going, because I am going to restrain these guys with landing gears. These things stick here, but we can just plop you down like that. Yeah, and now we have somewhere to start. So let's see, it's gonna be just like this. Yeah, just like that. So 3 across plus 1, 2, 3, 4 down. 3 across plus 4 down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 across, and 1, not you. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Yeah, and the landing gear will stick to this thing. So, in order for us to get this working, we're gonna want a rotor right here. Right here. I don't think I can place one here because it won't fit, but that's gonna be the position of the rotor. Now this isn't quite working out like I wanted it to, but I think I can come up with the design that'll incorporate this nice and neat. Okay, let's see if I finally managed to set this up properly. These rotors were such a pain in the ass to actually figure out their limits. These things should definitely come with an instruction manual. Damn. Okay, let's simulate this magnetic lock and just align ourselves nice and neat here. Just like that. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And now pull down on the rotors and see if they do their job. Now I still have to program these landing gears to... there you go. Okay, a solid lock there. Let's actually go to our main rotors. Current angle 269. I have 270 here, so I'm going to say to go only up to 268.5, so that I have less of a chance of it breaking. And now rotor port forward is at 2, so that will be its lower limit. So let's tell it to only go down to 2.5. Confirm. And let's see, do we still have a lock? We do. We do have a lock on all of them. So now let's go to our groups, and I haven't made one yet, so let's grab our landing gears here and make a group. Let's call it Gears Cargo. Gears Cargo. Okay, save and tell it to lock. Solid lock there. Alright. Shouldn't be putting any pressure into the thing. Now, let me grab this little bugger here, and we'll have to power this thing temporarily, just until it can start itself up and start drawing juice from whichever ship it is connected to. But here we are, and we do have a cargo system. Okay, I think I like this. I think I like it. Of course, now it's much clunkier to use, to maneuver, but it's gonna be worth it. Now all we have to do is dock this thing up there, and that's what I have to do next. Oh boy! But first, I need to figure out the size, the amount of space that I need. Whoop, got turned away here. The amount of space I need here to actually have all of those containers indoors. So I guess I'd better start counting armor blocks here. Okay, I guess there's not gonna be enough time for this journal entry to do that much more, but I can say I've had a lot of trouble with these rotors. They seem to be fighting something, and they keep making the ship, the Scarab, spin over itself uncontrollably. I set these magnetic locks here to just barely graze the cargo containers so that the rotors aren't fighting it. Hopefully that fixed the issue, but now it's time to see how big this thing actually, how wide this thing actually needs to be. So just so I can establish a workplace here, let's just see how big this thing has to be. So come on there. Come on. No, not you. Just like that. So what I had established was, so that's retracted. Then there's gonna have to be a door. So the door is gonna have to be at most here. Yeah. This is how wide the ship is going to be. And it is going to be very, very wide. See that? Yeah. Okay. That on either side. Very wide. Lots of space inside for me to store any ships that I want, pretty much. But for this entry, that's gonna be it.